Okay, so we are going to work with our hip flexors and making sure that our abdominals are contracted as we move our legs and our hips. So we're going to make sure we have a neutral spine. So you're going to pull your abdominals up, drop your belly button down, make sure that your spine is as straight as possible. Your hip flexors are at a leveled position. You don't want to tuck them in too much, and you don't want to tilt them out too much to create a large arch in your back. Make sure that your shoulders are dropped down. I know for me that I am a person who always tends to have their shoulders up towards their ears. So with that mind body connection, I always have to check in with myself and make sure that my shoulders are dropped down away from my ears. Straighten out your arms beside you. And when you have your neutral spine, your abdominals contracted, you're going to inhale to prepare, and exhale, you're going to tilt or lean one knee down, making sure that your opposite hip stays onto the mat. So don't go all the way down if you can't. And then inhale to prepare, exhale, bring that knee back up. On the other side, inhale, prepare, exhale, drop that knee towards the ground, keeping this hip, the opposite hip, on the ground. So once that hip starts to lift over, that means you have gone too far. So you want to bring yourself back so that your hip stays attached to the ground. Your opposite hip stays attached to the ground. You're going to exhale, go as far as you can with your hip staying down to the ground. Inhale, back up, center. Let's try that again. Make sure your abdominals are in and up, neutral spine. We're doing lateral breathing. So you're going to breathe into your rib cage, not into your belly. So pull your abdominals in and up. Drop your belly button down to the ground. Breathe in to your rib cage. Exhale. Drop down. So this is a good stretch to the hip flexors, seeing how far your hips flex while keeping the opposite hip down to the ground. Exhale or inhale up back to center. Inhale into that rib cage. Abdominals are contracted. Exhale. Drop that knee down towards the ground. Keeping the hip level on the ground. Inhale. Back up to center. Now let's see if we can drop both knees out towards the ground. So we're going to clamshell our feet. So make sure your big toes are touching. You're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, clamshell, or open that clamshell. Make sure you are at a neutral spine. Your abdominals are tucked in. Inhale, bring your knees back together. Check in yourself. I felt myself trying to tilt forward, so I always want to check in with my body, that mind-body connection, and make sure that my hips and my spine is at a neutral position. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, drop both knees down to the ground. Inhale, bring your knees back together. You can also do this at tabletop. So you can bring both knees to tabletop. Make sure your abdominals are in and up. You have a neutral spine, not an arch. You don't want to look like this. You want to have a neutral spine. Bring your abdominals in and up. Try to have your hips at a 90-degree angle. You're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, clamshell your feet. Open up your knees. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Check in with your abdominals, make sure they're in and up. Make sure your belly is not poking out. You're going to tuck those abdominals in, drop your belly button down, and then you can inhale to prepare. Exhale, drop your knees down, drop your feet down to the ground.